watching us, you may have clicked on a link on Facebook to take you to YouTube. Maybe you're on YouTube right now, maybe you're on Twitter.
I'm looking for the very Facebook link you speak of right now because I want to click on with the others.
See if you see it. So we're trying something new. It's an experiment. So see if you will follow us to YouTube.
But it's an experiment that cannot fail. We cannot allow it to fail, Nina.
Well,
we cannot.
Anyway, we're talking about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. And they're stepping away from the royal duties, and many jokes and memes about becoming financially independent.
It is worded weirdly, isn't it?
Well, I mean, like, what is she going to do? Just be on like some WB show? WB isn't even around.
They're saying they want their
some Netflix show.
Well, I'm sure.
The princess.
Come on, are you kidding? They could have their own reality show.
Right.
And
they could write a book
millions.
and be done.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, it may not be like royal millions. That's what I was reading. I went totally down the rabbit hole.
Buckingham Palace. If they wrote a book, like I mean, they'd be like excommunicated from the family. But I mean, that would be a forever bestseller.
But the way I'm reading this, they're not saying we don't want any more of your money. Is that what they're saying? We don't want any more of your money?
No,
It's
they didn't say it like this.
They want to have their own income.
Right. They said, they called it, we want to work toward financial independence.
Right.
So whatever he's going to do for a job, whatever she's going to do, but the British taxpayers are funding them at the moment.
Right.
Is that the weirdest thing ever?
Well, the whole monarchy thing. I mean,
so
you know.
weird. Like, it's hard for us to
still exists in this day and age, right?
Yeah, it does. Sure.
And I'll be honest with you. How much weight do they actually pull in England? Because I'm not even quite sure.
Well, I think they are like the most popular members of the royal family with the big wedding and all the press that they got.
They make zero decisions. It's the Prime Minister.
Exactly. I mean, well, yeah.
What are they?
And then I was asking you both earlier, what do you know about the relationship? Because I first thought of this and I thought, you know, never mind what Prince Charles may think, Dad, or the Queen may think, Grandmom. But I was wondering, like, what's the brother think, William? And you were saying maybe you've heard a little bit about the relationship being.
Well, I read that he was discussing William with like some media outlet and said we are on different paths. So I took that to mean, again, it was pretty vague, like his brother is the heir to the throne. He's more traditional, you know, he's married Kate who, you know, whatever. And then Harry, I mean, come on, married a biracial woman, has, you know, was a wild child like back in the day.
He's way more interesting.
Yeah,
right?
He's way more interesting, exactly. So I think, you know, maybe that's what it is. But I cannot imagine that she would think that it was easy. You know, as a matter of fact, she said, I didn't think it was easy, but I did think it was going to be fair. I would never think that that kind of media frenzy would be fair. I mean, they want to sell papers, they want to sell online whatever, clicks.
And those two boys, you know, deservedly so, are their guard is up when it comes to the paparazzi, right? I mean, for goodness sakes, the way their mother died.
And that's what Harry said.
Right.
You know, I saw it happen to my mom, you know, and I do not want it to happen to my wife. So he seems really protective. I respect
When
that.
they say they want to split time between North America and Britain, I mean, do we stalk celebrities as heavily as they are in
I don't think they want to live in the
Britain?
States. I read Canada.
Like Canada. I've heard Canada, too.
because she lived in Canada when she was acting. And her
But-
mom lives in Southern California, is what I was reading too.
But yeah, I mean, I just think it's hilarious. Like, there has been some. Do we have that tag board up?
Oh,
at
I love
all?
the
Producer
comments,
Stephanie,
yeah.
there has been some really funny comments from people online, of course, you know, like mocking the whole financial independence thing and
I find that hard to believe.
grab the jewels on the way out, Meghan.
I don't see them washing their hands and saying, we're transferring the money, as I understand it, partially that comes from publicly funded
Absolutely.
things.
No,
We're
British
transferring that
taxpayers.
back to the people of England. I have a tough
They're
time
not
believing
saying
that's
that.
the case.
I mean, the whole statement was very deferential to the Queen. You know, it was it was not like a big fu. It was like
They didn't really give her a heads up about it
I did.
until.
Well, according to the media reports, which may
Yeah.
or may not be correct.
Thank you.
I mean, we don't know, really. We
Do
don't
we
know.
have those comments? Because I feel like those
yeah,
are
those
gold.
are so good.
Those are what we need to show.
Efforting.
I'll tell you what I'm trying to effort.
Tell me.
Seeing this feed right now because I could not find that link on our Facebook page. I don't know, Brenda, if you were successful in doing so.
No,
So now
I am. That's what I was
I'm
looking
trying to
down
go right
do.
now to our YouTube page. So I'll get there just so we can follow along and read the comments
got it
from our
right
viewers
here.
like we normally do. You want to read all those now? Or you want to save those for
Well,
later?
save them for
They're
later.
fun comments, some of them. Fun.
Yes, indeed they are. So
Oh, let's show some of the comments about Harry and Meghan. Because some of them are really funny. Now that Harry and Meghan say they want to earn their own way in the world, Meghan will be free to audition for the part of Meghan in The Crown.
Embarrassing if
watch
she
that.
doesn't get it.
Have you
Embarrassing.
guys watched The Crown?
Yeah, we
I
love
love
it.
The Crown.
Really? I haven't seen
Only
Love
thing
The
I've ever
Crown.
binge watched in my life.
Really?
Love The Crown. Yeah.
Very interesting.
that is funny.
All right, I love this. Grab some jewels on the way out, Meghan. Run!
That is
That
funny.
Meryl Streep.
Yeah,
I
Meryl.
believe so, yeah.
I love that. This next one's pretty funny too. Meghan Markle has persuaded Harry to give up life as a senior royal in a reasonably short amount of time. I can't persuade my husband to change the empty toilet roll or pop the seat down after 25 years of marriage.
But now, in the husband's defense, I'm sure Harry never has to fill up the toilet paper or put his own seat down.
He probably has like the man handing him the paper in the lavatory.
I'll stick up for the husbands around here.
He's not going to know how. How are they going to know? Well, she knows how to be a normal person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, and once you have a kid, I don't know if I'd want my son growing
You're
up.
gonna have a
in that-
nanny.
Yeah. You're kind of hands off, I would
Yeah.
assume, in a lot of ways.
They should like have to live in a 2-bedroom apartment or something just to
Well, I mean, that's the
see
choice
regular
until
life.
they become
That would be a
financially
reality
independent.
show, The Simple Life with like Harry and Meghan. That'd be a good one.
Well, that you hit the
I would
nail on
watch
the head there.
that.
That would probably be my
I
guess
will
as
watch
to
that.
what would be most likely to happen in a reality show following the former royals.
Seems so tacky though.
Now I don't see
It
that
would be
happening. I'm kidding.
tacky.
They won't do that.
But
They will not do
again,
that.
they are wealthy people
Right.
regardless. I mean, by anybody's standards, even if they
Right.
just lived off her
Yeah.
acting and his whatever he decides to do.
Yeah, exactly. Like
It's a
what
good
is
life.
he gonna do?
Yeah, this is not. This is not a money move. Obviously, it's not. I don't think it's an anti-money move. This is just this idea of like, who says we have to lead the life
try
that
and
you
be
want us to
normal.
lead?
Yes. people, yeah.
And that's what he said. In that statement, they said something about moving that institution of, everything that is the British royal family in a little more progressive way. I can't remember how he said it exactly, but I'm like, yeah, they are the
Brilliant.
poster children for progressive.
And it's been done before. I mean, obviously, the Queen's uncle basically said, I don't want to be king. And then that's how Queen Elizabeth's father became
You're
king.
going way back to
So, I
Edward.
mean, it's not like this hasn't been done before. There have been other members of the royal family who excuse themselves out the door.
And I would not call this scandalous. I mean, we've got Prince Andrew and the Jeffrey Epstein thing. We've got Charles and Camilla, which was huge back in the day. We have Diana having an affair allegedly with her bodyguard. I mean, the Queen has
Holy
been through
cow.
some stuff over the years.
Next.
Wow.
Simba did it in The Lion King. He just pieced out after the dad died. Then Nala came back. It was like, we just watched The Lion King.
Look at
Sorry.
Drew. He's like,
That's a
"Dear
sad
God."
movie, by the way. I wasn't prepared
Disney
for
Plus?
that.
Disney
Very
Plus.
sad.
Okay. Now on the Today Show this morning, they're doing a consumer report on smart TVs. A lot of us have those. And those devices like Amazon Fire Stick, Roku. It doesn't mention Apple TV, but it does say your smart TV is keeping track of your personal things like, what shows you watch, when you're watching, for how long.
Sure.
And they sell that for analytics and marketing and targeted
course they
advertising
do.
to third parties.
Of course they do.
So, but the most important thing about this is they tell you ways to turn those settings off on your TV. Here is a little snippet from the Today Show about these smart TVs watching you.
All these devices are grabbing a lot of information about you, what streaming services you use, what shows you watch, when you're watching, and how long. Even your voice, if you do something like this.
Play Star Wars.
According to their terms of service, those smart devices use that information for a range of reasons, including analytics, marketing, and targeted advertising. They can share that data with countless third-party firms.
They are monitoring what you do. They're monitoring what you watch.
Does it bug you?
Well, is it possible that I come home sometime and the smart TV automatically goes to, let's say, an inappropriate show at 7 o'clock, and the TV says, going to the show you always watch, and my wife has never been in the house at 7 o'clock. And that would be, that would be embarrassing.
The secrets of Rodney Hill.
Tonight with Cassidy? What
I'm
7
just
o'clock
saying.
show are you talking about?
Oh yeah, 8 o'clock, let's say.
Rodney
you're
making it
me
weird.
too, or
That's why
don't?
we love you. Rodney making it weird.
I don't want to know.
I don't either. But yeah,
Is
I
it
don't
weird
love
to ask for a recap on what the story is? I'll be honest with you. I
Did
can't
you zone out?
No, I can't focus right now. We're having a different sort of experience today on the Rod doesn't even know because you don't typically follow along.
Right. No, I
But
know.
we're-
I'm a
we're-
little thrown by it too.
We're driving
We're on YouTube.
primarily on
Hey,
YouTube.
we'll just,
Right.
I can't even find the link on our Facebook page, and therefore I feel like we normally have a lot of people following on Facebook that
Right.
aren't following along today either.
Right.
So I'd like to share some comments from people.
We're experimenting.
But we have none of those comments to share right now.
You saying this may be just between the four of us?
We're having a, we're
That's
having
kinda
a
what you're
loud
saying?
conversation amongst the four of us. So if you want to make it real weird, Rod, today would be a great
All
day.
right.
Real weird.
This, I mean, if you need to know, it's right there.
Recap the
here.
smart TV story
Blah, blah,
for me.
Ken Yankee was waiting for the discussion of tech to begin. Here it is, Ken.
There it is. All right.
Let's weigh in for
This
you.
is for Ken.
Ryan Moon says, he's really not concerned about smart TVs kind of watching like what shows and all that stuff and selling that information because it's kind of the days we live in now. Sadly,
Yeah.
if you feel uncomfortable about it, the only solution is to not purchase any smart device.
Very true.
Like
Very
that's
well
why
said.
I'm never going to have an Alexa,
Same.
Yeah.
Echo or whatever they are.
Yeah. Jeff won one at work or whatever, and we've never enabled
Don't
it.
do
I was
that.
like, I don't know.
It's like a spy in your house,
Kind of.
Yeah.
basically.
But I mean, I totally agree with the one viewer that you just read the comments.
It's
I just
part
feel
of
like
life now.
that ship has sailed. You do anything where you push a button on a keyboard, that's being tracked somewhere
What's that mean?
for the most part.
Well, someone who's asked the.
It's not the Queen question? Does he mean the Queen?
I don't know.
What does it say?
Hey Damon, what do you mean? What is the Quanon question?
QAnon.
I don't know what that is.
Is that the Trump thing? QAnon?
Oh.
What's QAnon? That's
Oh, I
like
don't
that's
know.
the
I don't know.
messaging of like that the president is supposed to be giving to people out
I
there.
notice on YouTube, people go in their own direction.
QAnon.
That is funny.
That's a,
Wild, wild west.
I don't know
of
about that. I'm
YouTube.
sorry, Damon. Alexa, Dot, the Ring, all of that are total spying devices, says Ken. All of them,
Yeah.
even your TV, if it can listen or has a camera. I totally agree. I'm like kind of weird about that stuff. I don't like it.
I agree.
I
That's
don't
not
use
weird.
Alexa on my
Yeah.
phone. I have it totally off. I don't use Apple Pay on my phone. I've never. I mean,
Yeah, this, it's interesting because for years in our industry, we watch TV and we have these, we work in TV and we've always had these estimates of how many people were watching, but they were really kind of estimates based on people filling something out and using a percentage. And then along comes the computer and the smart world where every single thing, there's no guessing here. You push a button on that keyboard and it becomes analytic somewhere. It is tracked. There is
we
no
have to be
guesswork
totally
anymore.
Transparent. I'm
People
like, that's
know.
like how we know if people are watching us and how we're getting
Right.
ratings, right? Is going to be. I mean, it used to be a little piece of paper. You literally would
Right.
check,
Right.
what time you're watching
A
the
diary.
television.
Yeah.
And now, a diary, and now it's like a thing in
Yeah, there's
the
no.
TV.
Yeah, everything is trackable these days if it involves
Right.
computer technology.
One of the
basically.
freakiest things, though, right, is when you're having a conversation like this plays out sometimes in the car when we're talking about something. I'm like, I don't know, let me look that up. And you go to the Google and you start to type, and all you type in is like the or what, and it completes your sentence for you in the
Absolutely.
first option. It's like, what the heck? They're like hearing us. They're hearing the conversation.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That can be embarrassing too. Somebody's looking over your shoulder.
But I am not.
I do not want to get into your search history after this conversation.
I'm not freaked out by it to where I'm not doing the things that you mentioned. Like I use the Apple Pay. Do you not pay bills online?
Do you have Alexa?
We have
do,
one of those
but I'm not
Echo Dot
sending-
things. Yes, that's up in the house. It's not
You have
always
that.
on. It's not always on. Like
Or is it?
It may be, because guess what? I really don't know how to work
It has to hear you say.
I'm
"Hey,
assuming when we don't
Alexa."
have it plugged in, it's not on.
So it's
Because we
listening.
don't have it plugged in all the time. We
Oh.
plug it in when we want to use
Yeah.
music.
Thing.
We use it like a music machine, essentially. But you're right. I shouldn't assume anything. But I'm also not concerned.
Yeah.
We're having a conversation in my house, and you can all listen in. It ain't that exciting.
As
It's
my
not that
mom used to say, the
controversial.
horse is out of the
In
barn.
the future, what they
I haven't
can
heard that in a long time.
It's a long time.
It's a good
Old
old saying,
school.
yeah.
We did have a drone flying near our house one night when we were watching TV. We were watching, what was that show I watched on Netflix for?
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, thank you. Sometimes I need to borrow her brain to complete my own.
Yes.
I was watching Stranger Things and we had like the lights out, we're watching that, and the boys were like, there's a drone outside.
You saw
Sure
the
as hell. There was a drone
Stranger
flying
Things,
outside
there's
of
a
our
drone.
window, like at window level. freaked me
That's
out,
creepy.
of course.
That's eerie.
And
That's,
again,
yeah.
I was like, hey guys, come on, let's just watch the show.
That's eerie. Wow.
Yeah, it doesn't, whatever.
Did you close the blinds?
And no, there's no blinds on those windows.
I've seen that up, where we live. It's like, that's a drone, and what's it doing?
But it wasn't up there, it was,
Yeah, ours was, or whoever's was up always.
So the New York Times did this amazing article. They had gotten an anonymous source, gave them this whole packet of information that was from 2016, and it was based off of location data from your cell phone, from thousands of Americans. It doesn't have your name attached to your phone number or anything. It was a packet of information with millions of dots. And as you click through the time of day, those dots were moving around. So if you're going to the grocery store, you're going home, you're going to the gas station, whatever, it's seeing your dot move. It's seeing your dot move to your house,
Yeah.
from your house to KGW, KGW to your home. So the New York Times dug, and based on the address of your home, let's use you for an example.
All right.
They Google, they can find the property records. Okay, that's Rod Hill.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going every day to this one location. Oh, that's KGW TV. He must be the weatherman.
I would have said McDonald's,
Where
but go
else
ahead,
is Rod
KGW.
going? To McDonald's, to the grocery store, whatever.
Yeah.
They tracked United States military generals in Washington, D.C. that they didn't name, but they asked to interview them. They said no. They tracked a woman who sang the national anthem at Trump's inauguration. She did agree to an interview, and they can see her dot moving all around Washington, D.C. on the day of the inauguration. It is insane.
But they wanted to interview them about what? Just if they
Just to
were
say, hey,
alarmed by this?
Yeah, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
Here's your information. And the companies that collect this information based on, and it's not it's through third-party apps that you get on your phone.
Yes.
Wikipedia or the dictionary or, and they don't say what apps they are. But buried in there is when you download that, you are agreeing to have
It
your
says-
location tracked.
Yeah, right. You get that a lot, right?
And the
Use for
companies
location.
justify collecting this information saying, well, you consented to do it by downloading it. The data is anonymous, they don't know who you are, and it's secure. But the New York Times says none of those claims hold up. They contain billions of data points with no identifiable information or email addresses, but they're connecting to real names. So that's why apps can, if you went to a car dealership to look at a few cars, they see your dot at a car dealership, then all of a sudden on the side of Google, you start seeing ads for that truck you looked at.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how they're doing
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
And it's targeted marketing, and then whatever else in the future they want to do with it, or who they sell it to.
This little device is brilliant because we carry it everywhere. Some people carry it to the bathroom. They never, ever put it down.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
And that is the ability to track every single thing that you do. And all the things that you love are quote unquote free.
Right.
And that's what's just now sinking
It's not
into
free.
the
Exactly.
public consciousness is
You're
no,
paying
no,
right.
you are the commodity
Yeah.
that they're selling.
The old saying, ain't nothing free.
Yeah, it
right?
still applies.
Yeah.
You know who's tracking us? Has been for a while on this program, Sunrise Extra, Stanford Walker. And let the record show.
On YouTube, is that right?
Yes, let the record show at 7:15 a.m. on this Thursday. Stanford found us on YouTube.
All right.
Wow.
He says, good morning,
Good
all.
morning.
And then he adds that this discussion is why I say no to the Fitbit for his kids. Ken Yankee says the best thing to do is keep location or GPS off until you really need it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't even matter, the apps. The apps are watching.
Look, I like that you're.
It is. I mean, it doesn't matter if your if your map function isn't on your phone.
Well, it's probably a way to
some
turn
random
that-
silly app that you
Well-
downloaded that's watching you.
It's probably very difficult to make sure every single thing is turned off.
Do you guys know about this? Chris says, good morning, Chris, by the way. Thanks for
Hi.
watching us on YouTube.
YouTube.
You're YouTubing. He says if you use Google Maps with location service on, Google Timeline. So go to Google and Google Timeline, and it will actually show you every trip that you've taken in the last 30 days.
Really?
Interesting.
Huh.
Nina's going to try that out right
Where
now.
have I been in the last 30 days, Brenda Braxton?
I don't
Do you want to know?
I don't want to know what you're watching at 7 p.m. What do I do? Google Timeline?
Yes. Google Timeline.
And then what? Maps.
And maybe don't you think you have to do this on your own personal phone?
You know, it's interesting how Google evolved into this company that became the massive tracker of humanity like the world had never seen before. That in itself is an interesting story.
Are we all going to Google timeline?
We're going to check out this theory. Sorry, Rod. We're going to Google. And then we're going to go Google timeline.
Time is it? 22. Google Maps
Stand by.
timeline. Sign in. Ugh.
Yeah.
This is fascinating television, everybody.
I know.
I mean, whatever this is, internet.
Should I be talking while you guys are
Yes,
doing
please.
this?
Yes, please say something.
No.
That's fine.
Drew says no.
Everyone knows. Everyone's doing the same thing we are. They're
Are they?
looking at
Okay,
their
everybody's
phones
doing the
right now.
same
They're
thing?
typing and they're tapping.
Okay. All right.
Type it in. Tap.
Sorry, Mr. Chris. I'm not really probably doing
Only
this.
you can see your timeline. Location history is off. Your location is reported by your mobile device and only you can see it. Oh, so maybe mine's turned off.
This is what they call dead air in the old days, right?
Sorry,
That
guys.
was an old term.
I want
dead
to see
air.
if this works.
Get used to silence.
Okay.
Computer. There's a whole thing you got to do here. I'm
Yeah.
lost interest.
Yeah,
Sorry.
okay.
Thanks
I'm
for the
over it.
idea,
Well,
Chris.
I know where I've been the last 30
Describe
days.
You know, you know where
I
you've
just want to see
been.
if the
But who
computer
else knows?
Yes.
Well, thanks to everyone who's found us.
Yes.
Ryan.
We were found by some.
I think we can name you on two hands. Ken, Ryan, Damon, Stanford.
You're going to need at least
Ken?
3+ hands.
Great.
Now you guys need to
Great
spread the
discussion
word.
this morning.
Yeah.
We're trying it through the end of the month.
So
We'll
we're
see.
always
Yeah.
going to put the link on Facebook, and then
That's
they just
the
click it to
idea.
get to YouTube.
You can watch us on Twitter as well.
I can ask Stanford Walker. Stanford, how did you find us today? Because I know you don't normally watch us on
must be.
YouTube. So how did you find
yeah,
us
he'll-
today, Stanford?
he'll go back to
and
us.
if Stanford Walker can do it, anyone and everyone.
Somebody on Twitter was asking about how the Nielsen boxes tracking your TV viewing. EP Paul, do you?
Well, I mean, that's
can people
evolved.
Explain real quick how Nielsen knows what our ratings are.
There is an
Well, as you
active. Nielsen still operates. There is an activeness to it. People still have to do something. Oh, hi. Well, you know, I don't have to be that close. They still have to press a button to let them know that they're in the room, or they wear.
You said it's like a little
there,
device,
There are
right?
a couple
Little
of different
beeper
ways.
type device.
There is a device. There's a fob that they have to wear on them, which
And you have to be within a certain radius of the
of
television,
the actual
and
television
then
program.
it can talk to your TV and know.
It's a proximity. It knows.
What you're
And there are actual tiny little nested audio signals. In each hour, each program, and certain commercials and whatnot. It's nothing super secret. It's a little tiny blip that you and I can't hear, but those fobs do.
Oh, and that's how it records.
And there has to be movement. Like you can't sit that down on the coffee table and sit in front of the TV and watch a 2-hour movie. There has to be movement attached to that tracking device. That's why they want it in your pocket, on your belt, or whatever. Because if it goes non-movement, then it will shut off.
Yeah.
After a period of time.
Yeah.
But smart TVs can watch. I mean, they're not sending. I wonder not to Nielsen, but like Netflix, obviously, you're logged in. They
Well,
know
when
what
you're
watching.
logged into a third-party app, Netflix or Amazon, they know
yeah.
everything.
I need to
Or
go
like
to
over
a
the
TV
air,
show.
yes, over the air TV.
Sounds like Rob would be a good Nielsen tracker, especially around 7 p.m.
Look at your little football.
Oh, my little, what did I say, touchdown. My family gets me fun cufflinks for Christmas.
All right,
Yeah, we're
see
done.
y'all.
We're wrapping it up.
Bye,
All right.
you guys. See you tomorrow.
Gotta go,
Thanks for
gotta go.
watching.
Candy said.